You have two types of audiences on your photos. You have the first type, which are the photographers, the people that understand photography and the people that will appreciate a good thought photo. And then there is a larger group, the group that is just on the web to hit the like button on the photos they see. And even though the second group is larger and maybe they don't know anything about what a good photo is, it doesn't mean that you can impress them with crappy photos. So I think it's time for this video. I mean, every video that I made with tips were about how to improve your photography, were suggesting only the positive aspect of photos. Every video that I saw on YouTube talks only about that. So I think maybe it's time for a video that talks about the reasons your photos are crap, the reasons your photos suck, and the reasons your photos don't get any likes or very few likes. So maybe it's time for this video, 17 reasons your photos are crap. Hello everyone, my name is Toma. I'm a full-time landscape and travel photographer. So if you're interested in this kind of topics, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel for more similar videos. And you can also further support and you can further support me by buying one of my editing courses, or you can join me in one of my workshops. All the links are in the description of this video. Check it out. Now let's get back to these 17 reasons that your photos might be crappy. The reason I think this video is very important is because when you are a beginner, you produce a lot of bad photos and of course you get few likes. So I thought that maybe this would be an interesting subject that more of you would be interesting to hear, because yes, we all know what to do in order to get a good photo, but it's not always easy in the beginning to realize why your photos are really bad. I wanted to say crappy, but I think I said crap too much in this video, and maybe YouTube will say it. I'm not having the proper language to have advertisers. So here are the 17 reasons, and let's start with a first set of reasons. And that is the eye is first attracted by spots of colors and spots of light. Before the eye notices the geometry of a composition, it is attracted to this. So here are two very important reasons your photos might be crap. You have all sorts of spots of light all over the place. You have brighter areas in the left side, brighter areas to the right. You have light that it's not supposed to be there. And because of that, the eye wanders around. It doesn't have any point of focus, and that's why it looks strange to the human eye, even to the persons that don't know what photography is all about. Even to their eye, the photo will look good. And reason number two, it's related to spots of color. If you have large spots of color, for example, you have a bright red wall over here, but your subject is over here. So you have a competition between these two. You have lots of blue sky in the photo with no clouds, of lots of gray sky in the photo that has no clouds. This creates a really big contrast element that will attract the eye, and it will hurt a composition. Maybe you are thinking about creating a good geometrical composition, you have an interesting subject, but if you have spots of light and spots of color all over the place, the eye will not be able to concentrate. Now let's move to a second set of reasons why your photos are not good, and that is related to the focus point. When I'm saying focus point, I mean the subject, the main element of your photo, the element that has to steal the eye, has to get the entire attention of the viewer. So number three, if your photo doesn't have a clear point of focus, then it's a crappy photo. If the eye doesn't know exactly where to stop and it's just browsing the photo to the left, to the right, and looking, I know what I see, but I don't understand why you took the photo, and that is a reason to not get likes. Number four on our list, if you have conflicted focus points, and by this I mean you have elements that are sustained by small geometrical compositions, both in their regions, and one is to the left and one is to the right. So the eye doesn't know what to look. And I see this very often when we have, for example, interesting groups of houses, and people want to get everything in the shot. They don't understand that landscape photography, it's more about simple photos, and they want to get everything in the shot. And you have a group of houses over here and a group of houses over here, and we have some geometrical lines that leads to both of these groups. And of course, the eye doesn't know exactly which one is supposed to be the main focus point. Reason number 5, if the focus point that is sustained by geometry is too small in the frame, that is a consequence of not understanding of or not knowing exactly what you are photographing. Because if you know exactly what you're going to photograph, you know that that point or that area should be in focus, should be well exposed, and should be big enough. So if your main point is a dot or very small, it's not going to pass. It's not going to look right. Number 6, if you have a poorly exposed focus point, or it's not sharp, again, it will not pass as the focus point, and again, the eye will wander around and will not see this photo as something interesting. Number 7, the focus point is clear, is sustained by a composition, but next to it, it's a real bright element that steals all the entire attention for it. I give this example a lot. We were at a monastery. We have a black fence and a really beautiful monk dressed in black, very large beard, and he was looking so good, and we photographed it. To the other corner of the photo, there was a small white cat. Well, let me tell you, the people that got that cat in the frame made that cat the VIP of their shots, and not the true subject, the monk that was sitting there. Now, another set of reasons that your photos are crappy are related to the quality of light. And this is a little bit more advanced stuff, because you have to understand how light works and you have to recognize good light. And in the beginning, when you're just starting photography, you're not able to see light as it is. You see that there is light over there, but you can't. It's a little bit difficult to explain. You'll just have to get to that point, and you will understand. But here are 2 reasons. Number 8. Maybe everything is okay, but the light is wrong. This includes, for example, very hard shadows or areas that are poorly lit, or your point of focus, it's not well lit. Maybe for you it's interesting, but the light, it's not good enough. And maybe you have a light position exactly to your back, and you're trying to photograph in the opposite direction, and now you're having elements that have no shadow, no form, no proportion. So these are situations when the light is wrong. Number 9, it's not understanding light. Maybe this is the most annoying reason that I can give you. If you're not understanding what you're looking at, it's very difficult to photograph, because sometimes we think that, okay, we have several bright areas and everything looks okay, but when you photograph, the sensor will not see every area the same in terms of brightness. Maybe there are areas with the light that is just a tiny bit lower in intensity than another area, where for the sensor this will be much more visible. And if you don't understand this, you're going to have some out of balance photos. And now let's move to the reasons that are related to compositions. I have 4 reasons here. And number 10 is the geometrical composition is clear, but it has an even number of elements. So you have 2 leading lines and then the subject, 4 leading lines, or 7 or 6 leading lines. And it looks strange. I don't know why, but it looks strange. And the best results I have with 3 leading lines. 5, it's another good number, but when you have 3 elements and then the subject, I think that is the moment when everything aligns. Number 11, your composition lines are intersecting in one area of the photo and the subject is not near that intersection. There's a composition rule in paintings that says whenever you have the most important lines in a photo or painting intersecting on that vertical, you should place the subject. This is a rule that it's so important and it's so overlooked. And because of that, you lose. If you have an intersection, the eye will stay on that intersection. Reason number 12, your photo is crappy. The subject is facing left and the entire composition is suggesting right. So this is a very common mistake. For example, you have a carriage that enters the scene from left to right, but your photo ends right there to the right and gives all the space to the left, to the back of the subject. You have to frame it towards the positive opening of the subject. And number 13, reason number 13, the subject doesn't have enough free space around it, or it's placed in a corner, or it's placed too near an edge of the photo, and this creates a really bad feeling. I don't know why, but it kind of bothers you. It's not supposed to be that close to the edge. I don't know why, but it doesn't has to. It's not supposed to be there. Now, the final set of reasons are related to post-processing. There are moments when post-processing can really make a photo, but you can also break a photo if you don't understand what you have to do in terms of editing. So reason number 14, you have too much sharpness, too much saturation, too much contrast, and you have a photo that it looks like it's out of this planet. It's a landscape, but I don't know where you saw those colors. Sometimes you get purple in the forest. You have purple in the sky that looks like, I don't know what's going on over there. Number 15, you edit your photo so much that you damage it. You produce bending, you produce color aberration, and you have basically you have a destroyed photo. Number 16, when you execute poor HDR images, or when you do double exposures and you multiple exposures for the same scene to compensate for the brightness of different areas, and when you blend them together, they look strange. When you try to edit and you try to underline or trace the line of the mountains to perfectly try to shine some light on them, it will be visible. So all these techniques are not working. And number 17, the colors are wrong. And I saw during my workshops that sometimes people don't understand. I ask them, what is the color of grass in this image? And sometimes they say it's green, or they don't understand, or they don't see towards which color that green is shifted, towards blue, red, yellow, orange. And when you don't understand this, it's a little bit difficult to adjust the color correction of the image and to get the colors that you want. Sometimes you want the real colors, but sometimes you have to shift the entire space. But if you don't understand what you're looking at, how can you do that in a proper way? Now, these were the 17 reasons your photos could be crappy. I'm pretty sure there are more than 17 reasons, and that is why, if you know other reasons for which a photo can be considered crap, use the comment section below and tell me what are those reasons for you. If you are a subscriber, thanks for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing, and until next time, bye bye.